Welcome to I Need Some Disney, the podcast where we dive into everything Disney, from the parks to the rides to the movies to the shows and everything in between. Dinoland is officially dead. So let's take a trip down this Mesozoic memory lane at a land that once had a parking lot and an institute that had discovered time travel. And we'll take a look at what's replacing it. Hey, I'm Blake T. Wild, and I'm joined today by my lovely co-host, Lena.
Hi.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dinoland USA is extinct. It's like I'm doing a murder mystery podcast. Like, only murders in the horrible dinosaur carnival.
You should have added a gasp and then a laugh track.
Yeah? Yeah, I should add a laugh track to this podcast.
You should add a laugh track to this podcast. It would be hilarious.
Why? You're already here to laugh at my jokes.
My laugh isn't as good as a laugh track.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why you don't laugh. Yeah, so last year, I think, is when they officially announced it would be closing, and we
broke all our hearts.
Well, don't speak for all of us. If you're new to the show, I've never been to Disney World. I only went to Disneyland for the first time this past October in 2024. My co-host here, Lena, a longtime Disney fanatic. Some would say an addict.
I wouldn't say addicted.
She has been to... How many times have you gone to Dinosaur Land?
Oh, dear Lord.
I'm sorry, Dinoland.
If it makes you guys any more aware. I don't know where I'm going with this. I spent my 7th birthday in Dinoland.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm sure we'll get to that later.
Okay, we'll get to that later. I've been there... I already lost count. I've been there so many times. It doesn't help that my family always got the park hopper, so we would always just, go back to wherever we wanted to go back. So I've been there maybe 5 to 7 times. Maybe 10.
Okay. She's been to Disney World a lot.
Yes.
For some reason, not Disneyland, even though we live closer to it. But that'll be a discussion for another day. So yeah, they announced the closure of Dinoland.
Dinosaur Land?
It's short.
Dinoland
USA.
It's right there.
I know, we're looking. I have images to go along with this. If you're watching on YouTube, that's what you're probably seeing is the Dinoland picture, which they should really change the exploration, excavation, and exaltation to extinction. Sounds
just
like
add extinction.
I guess we're out of the job. I believe you mean extinct. It's from Jurassic Park.
Oh, I thought that's what you were doing. I just didn't remember that line at all.
I don't think they announced what it was going to be when they said it was closing, but this past D23, they officially revealed what it was going to be. It's a new land called Jungles of America or something like that. We'll get to it later. So we are just kind of discussing Dinoland, what it was, what it had, what it is, and what it will be. And I have some notes just generally about Animal Kingdom. Disney's Animal Kingdom, of course, is the 4th theme park created at Walt Disney World Resort in Bay Lake, Florida. It opened on April 22nd, 1998, good year. Spanning 580 acres, it is the largest theme park in the world, apparently, and is dedicated to the natural environment and animal conservation. I don't think that should count. Because most of that land, I'd imagine, is for the animals. Yeah. Because very little of it is actually the theme park itself. I don't think it's essentially a glorified zoo, and I don't think that should be counted as a theme park.
Well, it's still themed. And there's still rides, which makes it a theme park.
I think they should only count the part of it where people actually walk around.
What, did you want them to put theme park / zoo?
Yeah. Okay. World's largest theme park / zoo.
I don't know how that all works, but I don't think they could have declared it a zoo since it's, also a theme park.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. You can't just say that's a zoo and then all of a sudden it's also a theme park.
Well, Joe Exotic could say his thing is a zoo, so... Anyway, the idea for Animal Kingdom began in the early 1990s, aiming to blend a traditional theme park experience with a zoological one. Animal Kingdom was going to be the various kingdoms of all creation, man, animal, dinosaur, and dragon, one of which never continued.
I thought it was like myths,
Whatever.
like mythology.
Doesn't matter. It'll never matter, aside from the dragons that are still occasionally seen on the
And
advertising.
the unicorn.
Is there a unicorn?
I'm pretty sure there's a unicorn and a dragon.
I've never seen the unicorn. I've only seen the dragon. But
Didn't they actually say they, like, recently, like, when they were talking about it, that they didn't have money?
yeah, there was not a lot of money that went into this, which kind of explains a lot.
Yeah, it kind of explains the lands around here.
Let's see. So this was led, of course, I'm sure if you're a big Disney head like myself, you'll know who was the head Imagineer, and that is a man named Joe Road.
He looks like an Imagineer.
He's well known for his many, many earrings and his elongated earlobe. Apparently, he was the first man that Disney let wear earrings and have facial hair.
Let him?
Well, yeah, because they're so strict on all that.
Hmm.
I don't know how true that is. I read it on a comment online. I have no source, but that might be a thing. So yeah, Joe Road, he envisioned the park. He's all into worldly travel and animals and nature. He probably does mushrooms every day.
Hey, don't make assumptions about someone. That's how you created.
He seems very hippie-ish.
He can do whatever he wants in his own time.
He envisioned a park that would celebrate animals in 3 distinct categories. Oh, here it is. Those that exist today, those that once existed, and those that exist in legend and myth.
Yeah.
So you're right.
Told you myths.
Apparently, while presenting the idea to, at the time, Disney CEO Michael Eisner, he brought in a live 400-pound Bengal tiger.
Why?
I don't know.
To scare everyone?
To scare them, yeah, to intimidate them into opening the park.
Was it a well-fed tiger?
I'd assume so if it was 400 pounds.
Then I wouldn't be that worried. Well,
but yeah, I guess he just brought it into the boardroom or something. He was the guy, I believe, that's behind the tree sculpture.
oh, I love the
Like
tree.
that was his. If I remember,
Tree of Life?
whatever. If I remember correctly from the Imagineering documentary, he was pretty integral in that aspect of it. I highly recommend the Imagineering story, I think is what it's called on Disney Plus. So Disney announced the plans for the construction of the park in 1995 with an estimated cost of $600 to $800 million, which is going to sound like chump change once we get into next week's episode about all the changes coming to Disney, because it's billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
To design the theme park, Disney Imagineers would travel to
Ave? They're going to travel to Ave?
Travel to Africa.
Africa?
That's how you say it.
Africa.
In Asia to study the landscapes and the wildlife. They also collected seeds from roughly 37 countries to use for plants and grasses in the park, which is very reminiscent of what they did for the original Jungle Cruise. They did something similar. Except mostly from Jungle Cruise, it was the guy in charge of the landscaping driving around LA and that area and just picking up old trees that people were throwing away.
Yeah.
This was neat, something I learned. Many of the buildings contain thatched roofs assembled by Zulu workers from South Africa, and about 1,500 painted wooden horses were crafted in Bali.
Oh, that's cool.
Most of the park's animals were acquired in 1997, and they were held at a rented holding facility in northern Florida. Don't know why I left that in. That's not very important. But the reason that I have this in my notes is because Disney hired staff from 69 zoos.
Okay.
69. They hired staff from 69 zoos.
No one's laughing with you, Blake.
Not if
And
I had
then
a
you
laugh
played
track.
your laugh
So yeah, they hired staff from 69 zoos to help care for the animals. And then the park opened April 22nd, 1998, as I already said. I also watched this morning some bits of a 2-hour primetime special about the park from like the opening. It was hosted by Drew Carey for some reason. Drew Carey had the host of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah, I know who Drew Carey is.
He had his own TV show. I don't know. He was in that Pinocchio movie. He played Geppetto in the Pinocchio TV show movie.
Oh, that one?
I don't know why he had such a big... I don't know, because he was also one of the big forerunners in all of the advertisements and like the premiere of Disney California Adventure Theme Park.
Maybe he wanted to do it and he had a good agent.
In fact, he had a very good agent.
Apparently a very
because
good agent.
almost the entire cast of his TV show were on the, what's it called? The DCA opening day. It's like Ryan Stiles and Drew Carey. Rosie O'Donnell's there for some reason.
Well, they obviously have a very good agent.
I guess. An agent who loves Disney, I guess. But it was just so weird. Because Drew Carey's like, he goes, I'm here in Africa. At least it looks like Africa. Hey, how did they pull this off? And then he points back to the big tree. And yeah, that was a thing. That was a weird experience watching that TV premiere thing for Animal Kingdom, because they hop around to the different parts of the park, and it's Drew Carey doing his dumb stuff, and then there's like random like kids and kid actors that they keep hiring, and like family units that they construct for this movie about the park. I don't know where this would have aired, and either like does any
probably on ABC.
Oh, that's right. I did say it was ABC, but like was ABC? Does Disney own that?
I'm
like
pretty sure Disney. Well, I don't know about back then, but they definitely were affiliated. I don't know if Disney owns them.
It just seems so weird to me to just like turn on ABC one night and just see a presentation about like the new Disney park.
Because it was ABC, and then they changed it to ABC Family.
I think it had something. It was the.
And then they changed it to Freeform.
It was the Wonderful World of Disney series. Did you ever watch that? That was like their behind the scenes kind of thing. I don't know if it was still going when you would have been old enough.
Maybe I saw reruns. I'm not sure.
But that's, I don't know. I think that was like a weekly show or something. Like that was a TV show that like Walt Disney hosted.
Oh, that thing.
And
I've
then
seen clips.
Maybe I think Michael Eisner brought it back when he was in charge. So, with that, we introduce ourselves to Dinoland USA. They've been dead for 65 million years. 65 million years. That's a long time.
Why are you doing a voice?
Because that's what one of the kids in that video I watched says. Like, that's the opening bit for the Dinoland segment.
You probably should have let people know that before you did the voice.
I let them know now. True fans are gonna know, okay? This is a podcast for the true Disney heads. Well, you're not a true Disney fan.
Well, you're a fake one.
How dare you?
You literally just finally went to Disneyland this year. You have no room to talk. Add the crying track.
So yeah, Dinoland USA. Don't watch that video with Drew Carey and the weird family because it's not worth it. Except for one bit later that really made me laugh. Dinoland USA. How did this be caused? Jurassic Park 1 and 2 came out in the 90s, and they were immense successes. Universal owned it. Universal opened the Jurassic Park ride in 1996. And Disney enters a 10-year partnership with McDonald's for some reason, and that was a part of this, which is why the original Dinoland USA sign says sponsored by McDonald's. That's why when you pointed out when we were watching a walkthrough of the park from like the last year, McDonald's used to be in there.
I miss it being a McDonald's.
Did you know this? This is the piece of trivia that's going to blow your mind that I was telling you about. So in the Dino Institute Center, whatever it's called.
The main ride park?
Yeah, this place. The one that clearly is just modeled after the Jurassic Park Visitor Center.
Mm-hmm.
There are, on the ceiling, white, red, and yellow pipes with chemical components written on top of them, like giant piping that runs through. Do you want to guess what those are for?
To make sure the dinosaurs are extinct.
I'll give you one more hint. Think about the colors. Think about two of the colors specifically.
I don't even remember what colors you said.
White, red, and yellow.
To make Mickey Mouse? I don't know.
They are the chemical components for McDonald's ketchup, mustard, and mayo.
What? Why are they in pipes?
They gotta travel it through the building somehow. See?
This was in the restaurant?
No, it's in the building where the ride is.
When did they get rid of that?
I'm pretty sure it's still there.
What? I don't remember seeing that.
Did you ever look up at the ceiling?
I guess not. Wait, what building is this again?
It's the Dino Center.
I don't remember seeing pipe. Oh, those pipes. I love how I said it like that. I barely remember seeing them.
That is because the entire area was sponsored by McDonald's.
Is that just like a joke, or is there actual sauce going
Yes, it's a joke.
through the pipes?
Oh, God, I hope not, because how long has that McDonald's been gone for?
They're just pumping it all through there. That's why, you know when you get those huge ketchup dispensers that have the pump? That's what they're all getting pumped through.
Oh, they had little special McDonald's meals.
Yeah.
Happy Meals.
Yeah, they did. You still got a toy. I miss it.
You'll see this in the video, whatever I decide to put up here. How many employees do they have that they need to pump condiments through the whole building?
I mean...
Yes.
I don't know what to say about that. Like, in a way, it's clever, but at the same time, like, it's stupid.
It's very stupid. It's almost like, it's the proto version of the Pym test kitchen, where they have the giant condiment bottles.
Yeah.
But that's an actual thing.
It's just, it doesn't make sense, because why would those be in the ride?
Because nobody's supposed to pay attention to them unless they're huge nerds who know that that's the chemical compound of ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise.
Good point.
Because otherwise it just kind of looks like, oh, it must be chemicals for the dinosaurs. Even though,
that's what everyone thought it was.
But that's not the point of the ride, though. The ride isn't them having dinosaurs.
But
the ride is you going back in time.
Exactly. You need the chemicals to
time
travel.
So McDonald's condiments is how you time travel.
In case you guys were wondering, the secret ingredients to time travel are ketchup, mustard, and mayo.
It's the equivalent of Doc Brown getting the uranium from the whatever they are.
Oh, he stole them? Yeah.
But it's ketchup, mustard, and mayo.
That's the secret, guys. Yep.
Yeah, that's how they time travel. That's why they have to close it down, because they finally ran out of their reserves after McDonald's was shut out. I wonder when that sponsorship ended. It said 10 years, so I guess 2016.
Yeah, sounds about
Or no, wait, no, 2018. Because it opened in 98. What?
No, I remember going back in 2013 and it wasn't there.
Oh. Huh.
I'm pretty sure.
Let us know in the comments when McDonald's went extinct in Dinoland. It's fine. I don't care that much.
I'll Google it.
So Dinoland was conceived to represent, like I said earlier, the era of extinct dinosaurs. The Imagineering team aimed to create an immersive environment that combined education with entertainment, which is seemingly why they went with a paleontological dig next to a roadside attraction in a parking lot. I think it's dumb. Just this whole general setup for Dinoland USA.
I mean, you've never been there before, so you don't have a proper opinion.
So the history of this, like in universe, is that, when did it close? 2008.
I told you.
Oh yeah, why was I saying 2016?
Well, it opened in 1998, so that means it closes in 2008.
I know, that's why I don't know why I was adding another 10 years onto it. I was just being hopeful, I guess.
It was there longer than you thought.
So the story of Dinoland USA is that there's the Dino Institute, which is a fictitious paleontological facility home to dinosaur, obviously. Dinoland USA started as a small highway town where an amateur fossil hunter found some dinosaur bones in 1947. After contacting some scientist buddies of his, they gathered their money to purchase the area, and since then, scientists, volunteers, and grad students have been in the area doing digs. There's also an old fishing lodge on the property, which became Restaurantosaurus. Meanwhile, the Dino Institute and their partners at the research facility called Chronotech to discover how to warp vehicles through time, and thus started doing time tours. I never knew that was what the ride was. I never knew it was about you going back in time.
Yeah.
Also, there's Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama, which is like a throwback to old roadside attractions in America. Personally, I think that's insane. I don't understand the theming of this place.
It's dinosaurs. What other theming do you need?
I don't like it.
Okay.
I feel like it should have just been full... They should have just copied Jurassic Park and not have done this.
What?
This being the weird roadside stuff.
Oh, you're talking about the carnival games?
Yeah, I don't.
Well, no one really paid attention to those unless you wanted to play a carnival game.
The
The main focus of that land was obviously the Dinosaur Ride, the McDonald's when it was there, and going on the Twirl Whirl.
Primeval Whirl.
Yeah, going on that ride. And then maybe the Boneyard. The Boneyard was so much fun. Those slides were so fast.
When I think dinosaurs, Dinoland, I don't want to be walking down an asphalt street and go into a parking lot to cut through to this high-tech facility where they're committing time travel.
They could have done it something different, but I always like this.
It's gaudy. And that's meaning something coming from me. But, let's see. There are also, of course, animals, which I did not realize were on exhibit here.
I mean, you do realize, I forgot his name. I think it's Chester.
Chester or Hester.
Chester and Hester, like, this is their little park.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Like, this is their area that they're putting on for you.
They should have never created Chester and Hester to begin with.
I thought it was cool.
I just don't like it.
Well,
I think that they should have, because this is the only thing that's like this. Every other aspect of Animal Kingdom is like, you're in Africa, you're in Asia, and now look at all the animals around you, whatever. And then now it's like, well, dinosaurs are dead, even though there's time travel being committed. When I was a child, there was an amazing show called Prehistoric Park. Did you watch that?
No.
It was amazing. It was about this actual, zoological, whatever he's called, Nigel something. And it was this whole show about, it's obviously fictitious, about him opening up a nature reserve for extinct animals. And each episode is them building up the park and him going back in time and like bringing like a mammoth back and like Gallimimus and a T-Rex. Yeah. Incredible. And like they run a zoo and like it's like a documentary style. So it goes in like, oh, well, the Triceratops is like, he's a teenager, so he needs like something to spar with. So one of the guys gets like a big bulldozer and like starts fucking ramming it against the Triceratops to play with him. It's such a great show. Highly recommend it. They should have done something like that, is what I'm saying. They should have really been like, this place has time travel. They brought the dinosaurs back. You can come and look at the dinosaurs, even though they're just animatronics that don't move. Like, build up this area as like...
I mean, I think you're forgetting that they didn't have a lot of money.
That's true.
There had to be a low area of this
I did
park.
forget that they don't have any money for this part.
That would have cost a lot of money to like make it like you're going back in time to here.
Well, not back in time, just a zoo that has dinosaurs and other animals. Speaking of Cretaceous Trail, I have something here to show you which I think you'll like. There you go.
Hey!
It's Donald in a little travel pack next to a dinosaur. So yeah, let's go over the attractions, since you were just bringing that up.
Yeah.
Attraction 1, Boneyard Playground. The play area is themed as an active dig site that some students treat as a playground when they aren't busy with the dig. Very unprofessional, let me just say.
Hey!
Just letting children come and crawl around this dinosaur dig site, which I guess doesn't matter anymore since they have invented time travel. It's not like the Jurassic Park thing, like in Jurassic Park 3, where they're at the dig site and Alan Grant's doing his presentation, and he's like, those aren't dinosaurs. What's in the earth are dinosaurs. These are both dinosaurs. It doesn't matter if you're doing a dig site anymore. Also, real quick, the thing, before I forget, because the next one is the Cretaceous Trail, which is a walk-through garden with an occasional meet and greet space, I guess.
I guess.
I love this picture because it looks like Donald is like one of those like dentists that goes to Africa to do big game hunting.
Oh.
It looks like he's like hunting down and like shot this animal.
It does look like that.
Like someone's propping its head up with like a fishing wire off screen. For some reason, Dino Sue is listed as an attraction. That's the bronze recreation of Sue the T-Rex. Oh. Sue the T-Rex was the most complete Tyrannosaurus skeleton ever found. It's named after Sue Hendrickson, the archaeologist who discovered it. That was a big thing I remember learning about when I was into all those dinosaur documentaries, is Sue the T-Rex. Then we get to Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama, a subsection which emulates a tacky roadside carnival, complete with midway games, attractions like Triceratops Spin. The design intentionally contrasts with the more serious tone of the rest of the park, which I feel is their way of just being like, no, it's purposefully bad and cheap.
Well, they were trying to make it a place for
Kids.
more little kids, yeah. If you think about it, I'm trying to think, they don't actually have a lot for little kids in there, in the park.
In Animal Kingdom?
In Animal Kingdom.
They have the whole tree thing.
Well, that's just the tree. Under the Tree of Life is just a show, which obviously any age
And
you can
those
go to.
drums,
But for actual
or the-
rides, there's not a lot.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm saying it shouldn't be a theme park. Going back to my earlier argument about it being the world's largest theme park. Let's see. So yeah, they have the Triceratops Spin, which is just a spinner ride thing, and then the Fossil Fun games, which are a bunch of dumb carnival games. Do you want to hear some previous attractions that were there? Please say yes.
You missed the whirl tour.
Well, that's because it's closed,
Oh.
as is a previous attraction. So the Primeval Whirl, which is just, what is this? The
That was one of the funnest, what do you call those roller coasters?
Is it one that spins the car around?
It's like Goofy's Fly School.
Oh.
So it's one of those, but it also spins.
Yeah, it had cars that spun in circles while traveling the tracks, permitting ride experience to vary greatly each time it was ridden, usually seated up to 4 riders. The spinning gave the attraction the nickname Primeval Hurl.
Yeah. So this one was a lot of fun. One thing I will note, because like I said, it's like Goofy Sky School, but if you actually look at the actual carts, it made it for adults. I remember my like
Yeah, that kid is
grandparents.
tiny in this picture.
It made it better for the adults because like I don't know if you were ever an adult who went on like Goofy's like Sky School for your child, but I remember my mom and my grandfather complaining because it hurt because there's like no back support. So I remember them really liking this one because it's like, oh, like you get an actual seat like with a headrest. Like if you're getting whipped around, but you at least can like, I don't know, brace yourself against the seat better. So it makes it more fun because you're not getting hurt.
What is the theming of this ride? Because you've gone on it. It looks like it's the equivalent of Chester and Hester's thing when they heard that, like, I heard that they invented time travel. Let's trick some people into riding this roller coaster and say it's time travel, and they just put a bunch of clocks everywhere.
I'm trying to remember. I'm not going to let you spin a lot.
Like a clock.
So you're spinning. So they didn't have to put a lot in here because you can see a lot anyways.
Like, it's just so...
But it's like, the whole point of the ride is that you're literally spinning back in time.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. The whole time you're spinning back in time.
But it's just one big carnival trick. Was this over in the carnival area, I assume?
Kinda.
Apparently one of the reasons it shut down was because the company that created it and, like, you know, sold parts for it shut down.
Oh. That's sad.
Yeah, it was open for 18 years, 2002 to 2020, before they just destroyed it. Other additions that are no longer there include Lucky the Dinosaur and Chandler the Handler from 2005, which was a large green theropod. Is that right?
I don't know.
Just pulling a rickshaw cart with flowers, I guess?
I don't know.
It would just walk through the park, and it's apparently, I think it was the first, like, major, like, moving animatronic at any of the parks. So that was a thing that they should bring back. Maybe I'll talk about Chandler, or Lucky the Dinosaur and Chandler in a future episode. There was also, get ready for this, because this looks ridiculous. This is called Dinosaur Jubilee.
Is this how that I think I've seen this? When was this there?
99 to 2000. This was what used to be at... This is what Chester and Hester's replaced.
Oh.
So this was a tent-like structure across the street from Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures shop. It was an exhibit of fossils and skeleton casts representing some of the Dino Institute's findings. So I assume it was just a dumb little gift shop with a weird-looking T-Rex balloon inflated in the front. And now here is something that was really interesting that has no images, no videos I could ever find. It is called the Fossil Prep Lab. It also lasted only 2 years, from 98. It was an opening attraction to 2000. Now get this. This was part of a deal made with the Chicago Field Museum for the Sioux, the Tyrannosaurus. This was a deal Disney made with the Chicago Museum to have scientists and archaeologists be on site to prepare, clean, catalog, photograph, etc., the fossils from Sioux the Tyrannosaurus, because there were so many of them, to get prepared and remove the rock from the bones and all of that and get it ready for an exhibit.
Yeah.
So you could go to this little temporary setup building, and it was like in Jurassic Park, when they're they watched the people in the labs. You could go there and just watch these actual archaeologists at work, cataloging and preserving these fossilized bones. I found that from yourfirstvisit.net by Jim Corcus. Was the only place that really had anything of information about it. Okay, and now are you finally ready to get into Dinosaur the Ride? So, Dinosaur, originally named Countdown to Extinction. So this was originally called Countdown to Extinction. This was an opening day attraction. It's a dark ride that takes guests on a thrilling journey back in time to rescue a dinosaur before the meteor impact. The ride system is similar to Disneyland's Indiana Jones Adventures, utilizing the same enhanced motion vehicles to simulate rough terrain, which, it's just the same truck. Exact same vehicles. There was that video preview that I was talking about earlier with Drew Carey and everything.
Yeah.
And the little kid that says the 65 million years line. There is such a weird thing where it's the kid, his sister, and his mom, I think. They are lured onto the ride by two people who claim to be employees of the Dino Institute. And right before they get shot off through time, the little kid turns back to these two employees, quote unquote, and cries out, "Hey, who are you guys?" As the vehicle just goes away.
Okay.
It was weird. Yeah, the attraction guests board vehicles called time rovers and are taken to the Cretaceous period right before the meteor strikes. As you saw, this was quite different between, I think, both versions, because only 2 years later, Dinosaur released on May 1st, 2000. And to promote the film, they changed the narrative slightly. They added what's his name? Aladar?
Is that his name?
I think so. I have it somewhere in my notes. I haven't gotten to that part yet. But, fun fact, the film and the ride were made at the same time. And so Michael Eisner was like, film Imagineers, work together to make this one piece of media so we can cross it over, which is why the dinosaur that they're going back for is the Iguanodon. The animations in the pre-show are from early pieces of animation from the film Dinosaur itself. The Carnotaurus, which is the villain in the movie, right? That's why it's there. Early on, the attraction took the form of a prehistoric time travel safari, which would have been outdoors instead, and an indoor loading and unloading area, so kind of I guess an actual safari thing. But Michael Eisner wasn't having that. So he was like, no, make it Indiana Jones but with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Also, apparently Bill Nye the Science Guy is in the pre-show.
Oh yeah, if I remember.
He does little lectures about dinosaurs or something. So yeah, the storyline is you are guests at this place that has invented time travel. There's a man named Dr. Seeker who secretly informs the guests that he plans to send them back in time to the Cretaceous to rescue, here it is, Aladar, the Iguanodon, whom he has previously tagged and is keeping track of. I have so many questions about how this technology works. The time rover drives through the jungles. Looking through it, you see a Styracosaurus, a Alioramus eating a Brachiocampsa, a mother Parasaurolophus, and a Velociraptor. And then the Carnotaurus is introduced, which scared you. The time rover speeds frantically away, herking and jerking left and right, just like in the Indiana Jones ride. As you try to escape, it goes down a drop just in time to avoid the flying pterodactyl, which isn't a real thing. Then the guests continue. There's the Compsognathus that go overhead, which apparently were broken for nearly 20 years, which is why you never saw them. There's the little ones that you were like, oh, what's that? On the video that we watched of the ride, which those would eventually be upgraded into projection maps. You enter complete darkness and have a loss of traction, and then suddenly lights begin flashing and the Carnotaurus shows back up, and that's when it raises itself and it roars, and this is where the photo is taken, so you can get people crying, I guess. How many families do you think have photos of their children in tears from this ride? Then Aladar appears, but Seeker tries to abort the mission, and Aladar holds up a fallen tree for you, the rider, as you escape back into the present. And when you get back, you realize that Aladar also escaped through the time portal itself. And Seeker thanks the guests and then excuses himself so he can find Aladar before security does. Mm-hmm. Which just raises up so many questions. So some of the changes, obviously, they changed it to be more child-friendly. Aladar statue replaced the Styracosaurus out front, which is the thing that looks like a Triceratops, but with all the spikes. Mm-hmm. So that's what used to be outside. Again, the attraction was marketed as a tie-in to the film, and because of this, the movement was very hindered and slowed down to make less intense, and the ride also was given a less frightening soundtrack.
Oh.
Apparently, in the original one, after you run into the second Carnotaurus, which I guess is where you get your photo taken, and it's like supposed to chase you.
Is that the one where you get your photo taken? I thought it was the last one.
Oh, is it? No, I thought
that's why it was so bright.
Oh, I don't know. Because isn't the last one where you go down?
Yeah.
But this says it's the photo. You can take the photo when it stands up.
Oh, I guess so.
I don't remember. I don't know. Who cares? This thing's dead, so who cares? It doesn't matter. This ride's not going to be here next year. Apparently, in the original ride, you could hear roars and footsteps of the Carnotaurus following the vehicle, like it's chasing you, to really add to the suspense. But now, after they switched it to be the tie-in for the film, all you hear are just distant roars to imply that you have successfully and safely escaped. And of course, they toned down the lighting effects, they toned down the sound effects, because my god, was this thing a nightmare for everybody when it was countdown to extinction. 2016 was when it underwent refurbishment and had the animations and the projection mappings and all that. Also, something that was never used, but you can still apparently see, is that there was going to be a large mirror at the end, which was going to use like a Pepper's Ghost effect, like on Haunted Mansion, mm-hmm. to reveal that the Iguanodon had time traveled with you.
Huh, that would have been nice.
But instead, I guess they just went with the computer screens that you can look at. So yeah, that's the ride. I have some notes. Do you want me to go first, or would you like to discuss this?
What?
Just the ride itself, because that was just a sort of coverage of it. I have some thoughts.
You covered basically all of it.
I think it's a pretty rough ride.
It is rough. If you've been on Indiana Jones, you've technically been on this.
Yeah, the videos don't seem that intense, but having been on Indiana Jones once in my life, oh my god.
Yeah, you definitely are getting jerked around. You definitely are holding on. If you... if you're not holding on, if you're one of those people, you most likely are going to have some neck damage when you're older.
I want to know, because I feel like I wouldn't like it just because of how many strobing lights there are. And
the lights aren't that bad. It's definitely getting jerked around, but it doesn't jerk you. I don't know. It doesn't jerk you that hard.
That's what I was wondering about. How much did them changing it when Dinosaur came out hinder, like, actually how intense. Like, how intense was it before?
I don't know.
Like, if you're saying that it's bad now, imagine what it was like when it opened.
I'm trying to remember it.
Because
It's been a while.
Because they're roughly I timed it in two different videos.
You're also like tilting too.
Well, yeah, it has the hydraulic arms on the cars.
You're definitely.
I wonder if they just changed the jerking a little more to just be like that swaying up and down, maybe.
Maybe.
But I timed it. They're roughly each ride version, the original and the new one. It's about 3 minutes, so it's not like you're speeding through it anymore. I think it just. I guess they just toned down how much the car actually like shifts.
Yeah, there was moments when it felt like you were gonna fall out of it because it tilts you so far.
Okay, well maybe I don't know then. I wonder how much they actually did change because you can't really tell from a video, but like maybe most of the changes were from like just the setting and the scenery and the music and the lighting. They could
have changed it from rocking so much, but
because what I saw is that. Based on my viewing of these two videos, as someone who's never gone on either, it seems like compared to the original, the new version doesn't have the same sense of urgency, especially when the Carnotaurus shows up at the beginning.
Oh yeah, you're kind of just...
Yeah, you kind of just sit there and look at each other.
You kind of just sit there and stare at it and wonder if it like saw you or something.
That's what it seems like in the new or in the old one, but in the new one, it just kind of seems like it's waiting for its cue to like start the scene. And I didn't think it felt very threatening. And for some reason, you can see the bars of the ride infrastructure on the last one that pops out at you. That's funny because that's essentially what happens on the Jurassic Park ride from Universal. With the T-Rex, now the Indomitable-saurus or whatever it's called. Aladar is dumb. Is this canon to the movie?
I don't really remember the movie. I didn't like the movie.
Oh my god, you didn't? I thought you were going to get so mad at me when I said I hate that movie.
No, I hate that movie.
Aww. I never enjoyed that film as a child. I thought it was weird. I thought it looked bad.
It terrified me.
I just didn't like it. I thought they were all ugly.
I thought it meant we were all gonna die too.
Well, I mean... Yeah, I hate Dinosaur. I don't like the movie. Not a fan of the ride. I don't like the area. I don't like Dinoland USA. I wouldn't visit.
I would drag you there.
Here's something. Remember when I was talking about how this time travel thing works? So there are no cameras on the vehicle, clearly, because Dr. Seeker relies seemingly on the computer voice that is transmitting to him through time. Because he's like, computer, what's there? And it reads off the dinosaurs that are like... I just want to know how this technology is supposed to work.
You're not supposed to know how it works.
I guess that's why I should just go on a Primeval World. I do really like, though, the asteroid and the meteor effects. Those are really cool. It looks really neat at the very end when the meteor is crashing and like the entire roof above you lights up. That looked really cool. I really like seeing the falling asteroids as well, plummeting to Earth. Did you have a story about this ride, or was that Dinoland in general? I figured you'd be talking more about your childhood experiences here.
Oh, I mean, I guess my only experience was, if you want a story.
Yeah. This is a podcast.
One year when we went there, I don't remember what year it was, but I was young. And I was just like a few centimeters off being tall enough to go on the Primeval Whirl. And so my older siblings and everything got to go, so I was really sad. And it was my birthday. It was my birthday. We were there for my birthday. So I was just there, crying, and my mom couldn't calm me down. And eventually a cast member walked up to us, and my mom told her why I was crying so hard. And she just handed my mom all these little coupons, and I got a free fast pass to any ride I wanted. I got a candy bar or a cookie.
Oh, I thought it was all
cookie.
fast passes.
I don't remember how many fast passes she gave us, but she gave us all these coupons. I still wouldn't stop crying, and my mom was all like, "Stop crying, she just did a really nice thing."
I was thinking you wanted to go on this ride.
No, it wasn't this ride. I think I was Was I tall enough for that ride?
If you weren't tall enough for Primeval, whatever, I doubt you were tall enough for... Why didn't you bring this up when I was talking about that?
I don't know. Look at the height requirements. Because I could have sworn we went on this, but I didn't end up going on...
I thought you said you have gone on this and you got really scared.
The whirl. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think the heights were different.
No, I don't know. I'm not going to be able to find it because it doesn't exist. One of the rides doesn't exist anymore.
I bet you I could find it. Anyways, but yeah, so nice thing about that, if kids are listening, just, cry when there's a cast member around. You might get a lot of free stuff.
Not anymore, though, because, I doubt it.
Oh, yeah, they stopped doing that.
Yeah.
I forgot.
They stopped doing anything like that. You're
going
to get access into the app? Hey, kid, let me see your phone so I can input all this stuff into your app.
I think it also helped that I was wearing the happy birthday pin. So it's not like my mom was lying, because they got me the happy birthday pin.
Anything else you want to say about Dinoland, Dinosaur the Ride, before we start getting into just what's going to happen?
No, I said.
Okay. Are you sad that it's going?
Well, of course. But, at least they're not, getting rid of it. They're just turning it into Indiana Jones, so...
I have an idea for a new segment. Let me know what you think about this. It's called Accidents Happen. In April 2005, a 30-year-old man lost consciousness while after exiting the ride and later died. He wore a pacemaker, and the victim's parents said he had a heart condition.
What?
An investigation showed the ride was operating correctly and was not the cause of victim's death. It's my new segment, where bad stuff happens on these rides.
I wonder if the warnings, because there's health warnings. I wonder if that was there before this happened.
It was 2005.
I highly doubt it. That's probably why they added it. Because I know it's there. It's like, hey, if you have a heart condition, you shouldn't be going on this ride.
That would be insane if that's true, because Indiana Jones is from the 90s, and it has all of those things put up. But, yeah, I suppose that's not too shocking. He had a pacemaker. And he goes on Indiana Jones. Did you not hear that part?
Thinking? No.
So yeah, somebody died after riding this ride. Went extinct, if you will. Here's something insane that happened in 2013.
Not what extinct means.
In 2013, a woman found a loaded pistol on the ride vehicle.
What?
The gun was reported to the attendant, who in turn reported the incident to the authorities. The owner of the gun later stated he was unaware of Disney's policy against weapons and had a concealed weapons permit.
What? How does that make it better?
In 2013, he dropped his gun on the Dinosaur Ride.
How did he get past security?
I don't know. He had it really hidden.
Must have. Hid it in his belly fat.
Oh.
Well, I was
going to say butt.
You haven't heard of people...
I was going to say butt.
You haven't heard of people doing that, putting it in their fat, so it
please
wouldn't
don't
go
talk
off.
about this. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that as a continued new segment whenever it comes up, called Accidents Happen. It's probably going to be a lot of deaths. We'll find out. Follow along with us each episode.
Yeah. If you were shorter, you were able to go on...
Oh, Dinosaur?
Yeah, so you're able to go on Dinosaur if you were 40 inches, according to this. And to go on the Primeval Whirl, you had to be 48 inches. So I was just a little bit off.
You should have just went on Dinosaur.
I did go on Dinosaur.
Yeah, you should have went on the Triceratops one that you
love. I wasn't able to go on Primeval Whirl, though, and I was so upset.
It doesn't look like you missed much.
You have, you need to figure out what's wrong with you. To understand why you hate things that were meant for kids.
I have a lot of things I need to get... I have a lot of issues I need solved.
You need to figure out what's wrong with that, because obviously, kids enjoy it.
Let's get back onto this Disney thing. On August 10th, 2024, it was confirmed that 2 things would be changing, at least at Walt Disney World's Animal Kingdom. That was that It's Tough to Be a Bug show was going to be replaced by a new Zootopia show at the Tree of Life Theater. And that Dinoland USA was going to be replaced by the new Tropical Americas themed area with Pueblo Esperanza, featuring Encanto and Indiana Jones themed attractions, with completion expected by 2027.
2027?
Yeah. So here, have you seen this picture of what it's going to look like?
Oh, yeah, I've seen this one. Yeah, I'm interested in how they're making it with Indiana Jones and then Encanto.
I think it's just because it's all sort of Central American themed. They're kind of getting away with it.
I guess.
Because the Indiana Jones thing is Mayan themed.
Oh, okay. I can picture that better.
Let's see. I just have a bunch of the same notes that say the exact same thing.
Did they ever see what they're actually doing with Encanto in here? Like, I know they said Encanto, but what?
Venture into the Madrigal's family's casita for this family-friendly adventure in the attraction story. Antonio has just received his special gift, the ability to communicate with animals. We find his room transformed into a rainforest, and we're along for an enchanted ride as we explore.
So is it like going... Well, what kind of ride is it? Like...
They have not said.
Oh, okay. So it's probably one of those basic cart rides.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It looks like a basic cart ride.
It looks like it's going to be maybe similar to that Ariel ride at Disney California Adventure Theme Park.
Or like the Pooh ride.
Yeah, but not as good.
Or like any of those other little rides, just having its own little cart take you through the story.
Which is, yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. Well, no, it's technically not. Oh, well, I guess it is taking you through a story.
It looks like it's a boat.
It does, because there is a little waterfall in the concept art. There's a lot of tapirs as well, which I am into. Here's some other pictures that you'll be seeing on the video if you're watching. I just have them on my computer screen right now for both of us. So this is just showing the little plaza area, the entrance to it. Is that what it was called? I guess that's the name of the place, Pueblo Esperanza.
I mean, it looks nice.
Here's a model, because I love models and dioramas. So there's the casita up there, and there's going to be like a carousel, I think, somewhere in here. Right there. Just it looks really pretty. It's going to be very beautiful to experience because, what's her name? Isabella? Isabella. She's going to be a part of it, obviously, because it's Encanto. I almost forgot what it was called. So here's what it sort of generally has to say about this. It's going to be Tropical Americas, is what this area of the park is going to be called now. Indiana Jones' storyline and scenery for this new Disneyland is going to be following Indy as he goes to a Mayan temple rife with rumors of a mythical creature deep within.
Better be a dragon.
And so here is, let's see. So here's the image of the Mayan temple, of what it's going to be, how it's going to be set up. So, it's going to be just Indiana Jones because the ride is already Indiana Jones. So here is this is the concept art over the satellite image of the area, just so you can get a look at what it's going to be. So the Indiana Jones ride is obviously, big shocker, it's going to be where the Dinosaur Ride is. It's going to have the same show box. It's going to have the same area set up. It's probably just going to be a little more contained, I suppose. Whereas the casita is going to be developed over the carnival area. The Chester and Hester's place.
Actually, yeah, it looks really cool.
It makes sense looking at it like this. And honestly, I would much rather have that Pueblo Esperanza than a roadside attraction.
It looks cool.
Fair carnival thing.
I mean, it does look really cool. I like that they're doing something new.
Does this not upset you as much as as Splash Mountain?
Okay, that was because they dropped the ball. I don't know why you're bringing that up, because they just dropped the ball on the storyline. They obviously used ChatGPT to try to figure out that storyline and didn't think about how it would actually fit into the ride.
But yeah, looking at this concept art, there's going to be restaurants, there's going to be stores, hopefully some good Indiana Jones merchandise, because there's not a lot of great stuff at Disneyland, that's for sure.
Yeah, there wasn't barely anything.
There was a surprising amount, but it all sucked.
Did they ever announce what the restaurant's going to be in here?
No, they haven't really said much outside of the two rides and the fact that there's a carousel.
Better be actually really good Mexican food.
How good is the food at Disney World compared to Disneyland? Because the food at Disneyland was not good. It's awful.
Well, that doesn't help that the food, if every time I hear someone talk about the food, it's always going down in, quality. So
except at DCA. Very good food at Disney California Adventure Theme Park.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. There was good food there. But it was expensive. It was more expensive.
I'd rather pay more money for good food.
Well, that was the issue. The quality was going down, but the price kept going up. I remember the food always being amazing, and then, yeah, it definitely started to drop. It depends on where you go to eat, I feel like, with Disney, because if you're doing quick service like we did in Tomorrowland, you're just getting your basic burger or your basic chicken tenders. So it really depends on where you're going to eat, if the food's good or not. Apparently, Disney doesn't know how to do pizza. I've always liked their pizza, but apparently I like bad pizza.
Well, any pizza's good pizza, I think. Even cheap pizza is good pizza. I like this like little courtyard area. It looks like a little marketplace. Like this is just like a recreation of the town that's down the hill. I do like the fact that the casita is elevated. Like, it's actually, they're building it up from everything it seems like, and based on the film. I also like this. What is this pink river? Ow.
It looks just... Well...
Is that going to be water? Is that going to be flowers?
I think it's flowers, but I'm trying to remember the movie. I think it was flowers in the water.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was flowers in the water.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do. It's probably just going to be a bunch of pink flowers that they plant or something.
Maybe, yeah. It's not going to be that pink.
Yeah, I wonder what
unless they dye the water.
It's going to be interesting to see what the queue for the ENCANTO ride is.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Because if this is a ride, where on earth is this line?
Well, it could be just Haunted Mansion, where the house itself, nothing happens in it aside from you get in the car.
Well, that means the line would be all outside.
No, that means you could have it in the courtyard and, like, interior, like, because I think if I remember in the movie, his room is, like, on the backside. So, I don't know. Something could...
Yeah, but the lines always overflow, so...
I suspect that most of the queue is going to take place in the actual house itself.
I have a feeling whoever drew this concept art were not thinking about a line.
Well, absolutely, obviously not.
It's not going to look like this.
No, 100% it's not going to look as good as this art.
I highly doubt they're going to keep that river.
I don't know.
Why would they keep that?
Is it in the movie? I don't remember.
It's not in the movie, no.
Oh, it's not?
I don't remember there being a river, no, unless you guys do. Well, not the river at the end when she goes over the mountain. A river around the house. I do not remember a little river around the house.
What I can't wait for is when this ride eventually does open and Lin-Manuel Miranda makes an appearance.
Oh, yes, that would be nice.
They're going to 100% do a musical show, and he's not going to perform in it, he's just going to watch.
Yes.
But looking at this concept art of it, this looks like the exit down here.
Yeah, probably.
Like, there's like a little weird...
You would enter there and
like, I assume it's just going to be like behind the trees is the actual building of the ride.
Yeah, of course.
And, yeah, I don't know what else they could really do. Most of these buildings are going to be fake, obviously.
Or have very little shops in them, obviously.
There's like little carts that they have designed over here. Anything else you want to go on the ENCANTO stuff?
No, it looks like it's going to be really pretty with all the flowers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to look really nice, I'd imagine. Very colorful, very vibrant. Hopefully have good food.
Hopefully you have good Mexican food.
Meanwhile... over in the jungles, I bet it's going to be like going from Rise of the Resistance to Batu. It's going to be like, you're going to hear the like howler monkeys in the jungle and like crickets.
Changing.
Yeah. It's going to make you really feel like you've entered this density of the jungle. Because like, look at this concept art. Like, it's all overgrown and everything.
And it looks like they did a good job of narrowing the path.
Oh, yeah.
So it would actually feel like you're going into a new spot. If they actually do make it that narrow.
I'd imagine they do, because what else?
Yeah.
Like, there's literally nothing else over in the Indiana Jones section, aside from, like, the ride and, like, some weird tin roofs they drew on here.
Yeah, I wonder what those roofs are. Do you think it's the line?
Oh,
What's throwing me off is that I know they try to make it, like, immersive, but I wish they added something in these trees.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know. I feel like they're wasting space. Unless that's where the line is.
I don't know what that could possibly be, unless somebody else has already found it, but like, and it's just like the same sort of setup, like they have like archaeology digs going on or something.
Yeah,
maybe?
It looks like they could have.
Because I assume you go into the temple and then like, that's where the queue is. Like,
well, this is just surrounded by trees now, which is cool, but I wish they had like a...
I wish that they showed more art of the Indiana Jones stuff.
Yeah. It's cool, but at the same time, I wish they added something, like maybe another play place, or... Not, it doesn't have to be that big, but... just something else in here other than just like, oh, it's Indiana Jones town. And from the concept art, it looks really cool.
This is on brand with what they've done with the past Indiana Jones ride.
I just wish they added like,
it
I
is
don't
just
know,
its
a place
own
to
thing.
sit or a store or something. Food cart.
Just in the middle of the jungle.
a taco cart. A churro cart.
Churros. Why did it have to be churros?
A snake cart.
I have a couple of theories about it just this morning because I'm into mythology and whatnot. So it's the Mayan temple. Mythical creature is said to be part of it. Quetzalcoatl, who is a feathered deity worshipped since the 2000 BC. It's a Mayan god, Mayan deity. There's also Kukulkan, is a feathered serpent god from Mayan mythology and a symbol of Mexican indigenous culture. So that might be something. I doubt. I was thinking
that's too far out there.
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
They're gonna pick something that like everyone could possibly know. Like...
Well, what I'm thinking is it's either like, oh, there's rumored legends of like this was a temple worshipping this deity, but it's actually something kind of more realistic. Like how in Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, you think it's aliens, but they're actually fourth dimensional beings.
Oh, I never caught on to that.
It's going to be like, I was trying to think of what they could do because my other guesses were a Tata Duende, which are like little, like gnomish sort of elven, like gremlin sort of guys. Described as a spirit which protects animals in the jungle, they're believed to lack thumbs and lure children into the jungle to bite off their thumbs. Maybe that could be the...
Why on earth would they pick that?
I don't know. Also, Kamazots, the bat spirit and god of Mayan mythology associated with the underworld.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to pick any of those.
I'm thinking it's going to be something like what's already there. I doubt they're going to change very much. So I feel like there's going to be like reworking of the animatronics that already exists, a la my favorite dead ride, Superstar Limo, which reused animatronics from that into Monsters, Inc. But I was trying to think of like, how can you take the dinosaurs and mix them with Indiana Jones?
I don't think you really can.
Like, what is it gonna be?
Dragons.
Yeah?
That's why I said dragons. You could easily turn a dinosaur into a dragon. Add some wings.
Oh, that's not ridiculous, but my idea of a feathered deity is... Well, like, what if it's like, oh, there's this, like, a dinosaur still lives here or something, like Loch Ness Monster.
What if they're looking for a dinosaur?
Yeah. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. He's already time-traveled and met fourth-dimensional aliens. I couldn't really think of anything else outside of, like, it's gonna be something related to a Mayan deity, either real or created by the Imagineers, and... I don't know. Are they gonna go for, like, a psych-out? Like, a twist? Like, oh, you thought it was this, but it's actually a giant anaconda or something.
I don't know.
Because they don't do that on the other ride. It's full on, this is a god you've angered. Or like a cursed thing.
I honestly don't know what they're going to do.
I also wonder if it's going to be an indie animatronic or a projection, like a screen thing. Like, are they just going to do the animatronic again? Are they going to be able to get Harrison Ford's likeness this time?
Maybe.
Or no, they got his likeness last time. They didn't get his voice. Yeah, I think I'm definitely more excited to see where this Indiana Jones thing goes to. And I could not care one way or another that Dinoland USA is dead. Do you have any other thoughts? I feel like this is wrapping up the show.
Yeah, we talked long enough.
Yeah, we spoke long enough on Dinoland. This is all you need to say farewell to Dinoland USA. We covered it all. We covered Drew Carey. We covered the Primeval Hurl. We talked about it all. So as always, follow us online, subscribe for more, follow us on Instagram, check me out on YouTube at Smokey's Videos. You can find all the links in the description below, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to I Need Some Disney. This podcast is in no way affiliated with or endorsed by the Walt Disney Company. All opinions, facts, and fun here are our very own. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and connect with us online. Leave any suggestions for future topics in the comments.